Finally, I'd like to talk about coding and coding functions. There is a system for coding interactions and family functioning developed by Hall. It is used to behaviorally assess family functioning, especially regarding how conflict, disagreement, and problem solving are handled within families. There are different codes for family levels, typically mother, father, child. The codes are negativity/conflict, warmth/positive effect, cohesiveness, focus of problem, style of interaction, and alliance. The negativity and conflict code focuses on overall negative tone and or level of tension within the family. The feelings are generally conveyed through negative facial expressions or body language, which we have already talked about. Positive affect is the opposite, focuses on overall positive emotional tone within the family. The signals are the same throughout. The cohesiveness code talks about the degree of cohesiveness is related to the extent to which family members are respectful, affectionate, and warm with each other. For highly cohesive families, there is a sense of mutual appreciation between the family members as they work together toward a common goal. These family members will either be close, comfortable, and unified, or they will be disengaged and disconnected. The focus of problem code evaluates the focal point of the family discussion, the degree to which the parents describe the problem as either child-centered or family-centered. Style of interaction talks about the autocratic, democratic, lax, and inconsistent parenting styles, which we will get to in a moment. And the alliance codes talked about the balanced, marital, parent-child, and disengaged/weak codes, which we will also get to in a minute. Codes generally assign family to one of four styles of interaction: autocratic, democratic, lax, and inconsistent. In the autocratic parenting style, parents maintain their authority and are responded to as authority figures by the rest of the family. This is similar to the authoritarian style, which we have talked about earlier. In the democratic style, parents are still in control, but all family members work together to identify a problem and discuss possible solutions. This is close to the authoritative parenting style. For the lax parenting style, there is no one in clear control, while the child appears to be in control of the family. This is similar, but not quite equal to the permissive style of parenting. And finally, inconsistent, which is not equal to the neglectful style. This one stands alone. The inconsistent style consists of clashing parenting styles, typically in maybe a divorced or separating relationship between the parents, in which the parents are likely to undermine each other's parenting efforts. They fight for control of the child. Codes also generally assign family to one of 5 types of alliances: balanced, marital, father/child, mother/child, and disengaged/weak. In the balanced style, there must be no evidence of any dyad, that means pairing of mother-child, father-child, having more influence or power in the interaction than any other dyad. All relationships are on equal footing. In the marital alliance, the parents cooperate to control the child, and any conflict is directed toward the child. The child's opinions, thoughts, and feelings are often ignored and not respected, so the parents generally have an alliance against the child. In the parent-child relationship, the parent and child appear notably closer to and or more affectionate with each other than the third person, third wheel. So the mother and the child will have a special relationship and the father will be left out, or vice versa. In the disengaged/weak alliance, there is little closeness among family members. Disorganization may characterize the discussion, and interpersonal distance may characterize the relationships among family members. There's generally no connection going on, and the nonverbal communication, the body language, the spacing, the gestures, the physical touch, everything reflects that distance. Parental communication and affect regulation are measured with recognition and validation, emotional support and attunement, coerciveness, and withdrawal. In the emotional support category, the parent's ability to recognize and meet the child's emotional needs and provide comfort or reassurance is very important. This can be done verbally or through actions, again, supportive language, supportive touch, close distance, respectful distance, things like that. The parent will modify their behavior according to what the child needs or responds to, at least. And the coerciveness style is based on the frequency with which the parent makes threatening or manipulative statements to the child or uses a threatening tone or body language with the child. They will use aversive or unpleasant methods to direct or control the child's behavior. So too close of interpersonal distance, aggressive touch, they will yell, they will use aggressive language, just generally threatening or controlling nonverbal communication. In withdrawal, it assesses the degree to which a parent removes himself from the interaction or avoids the interaction or discussion. So similar to the coerciveness, they will distance themselves from the child, or at least do whatever they can to avoid creating those connections. With coerciveness, it was all about creating a negative connection, and this one is about avoiding connection altogether. And there are also individual child codes that assess the child's affective state and behavior. These codes are anger, sadness, positive affect / withdrawal, and opposition / defiance. In the anger code, it assesses the overall level of negative affect expressed by the child through tone of voice, facial expressions, and body language during the interaction. Verbalizations, overt behavior, and emotional tone are all important to note. In sadness, it assesses the overall quality of sadness, sorrow, anguish, grief, pain, regret, and remorse displayed by each partner. Again, body gestures observed in conjunction with other expressions of sadness. So you're pretty familiar with these: the looking down, the quiet voice, the withdrawn attitude, things like that. And speaking of withdrawal assesses the degree to which a child removes himself from the interaction or avoids the interaction or discussion. Again, tone of voice, body language, very far interpersonal distance, fidgets, superficial listening. They're not generally part of the conversation. They, again, do whatever they can to distance themselves. Positive affect assesses the positiveness of the child's tone of voice, facial expressions, and body language on a scale from little to no positive affect expressed to much positive affect expressed. So similar to what we talked about earlier, this is getting close to the person in the conversation, positive touch, bright tone of voice, just generally not withdrawing, connecting to yourself to the other person as much as you can. In opposition / defiance, assesses the degree to which the child displays oppositional, defiant, or belligerent behavior. Again, we've already talked about all of this. It's all about how much they can either distance or put up a fight to creating those connections between them and their partner. And those are all the codes of the SCIF.